Okay, I'm your grandmother, and I'm going to give you some advice. Don't take any wooden nickels. It means don't get involved with jackasses.
I kept my laugh in, which was my actual reaction to my grandmother explaining to me what don't take any wooden nickels meant. Because I was so surprised and happy with her answer. And that was my wheezing laugh there that you heard. But welcome to my third episode of Don't Take Any Wooden Nickels. It is Tuesday, December the 3rd. Thanks so much for tuning in and subscribing and reviewing and all that good stuff. It really helps, and I appreciate it so much. It is Gina Ferraro, and I'm sorry this didn't come out sooner. I like for this to hit at midnight on Tuesday, because every Tuesday is when I release a podcast, but I've been a little distracted. Okay, I got Disney Plus. And by the way, side note, if you are a Verizon user and you have a cell phone plan with Verizon, then you get a free year of Disney Plus. And if you've somehow not realized that, I get a text from them, so that's how I knew. But I had a girlfriend that didn't know, and she has Verizon, and she was like, oh my God, thanks so much for telling me. So now I'm telling you, unless for some reason they ended that promo, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you still get it. It's awesome. They have every animated Disney film that I would be remotely interested in seeing. It's on there. They've got all their originals. They've got the Marvel franchise, Pixar, National Geographic, and Star Wars. Okay, here's why I've been distracted. Because, one word, Mandalorian. Have you seen the Mandalorian show yet? I was actually at a bar last night with some friends, and they were talking about Star Wars and how much they love Star Wars. And I said, well, obviously you've binge watched Mandalorian, right? Guy was like, no, I'm not sure I want to jump on the TV series franchise of Star Wars. Whoa. Back it up, I told him. Wait a second. It's amazing. Okay. Yes. Are there some qualities of, I'm using air quotes, TV show style shooting? Sure. But it's not corny, like some TV shows can be. There's no live studio audience or anything. You're not getting laughter and applause when the droids do something humorous. I watched some episodes with my uncle, and he was like, I can see how there's kind of a TV element to it. But yeah, I mean, it's a continuation. You have to leave us hanging at every episode. Did you like Stranger Things? I think that has a nice film quality to it, but maintains that TV episodic type of feel to it. By the way, you're able to have 4 devices streaming Disney Plus on one login at one time. I'm shocked they allow that. Anyway, I was at my mom's, so I fired up my Disney Plus, and she was like, what is this Star Wars business? Trying to explain it to her. After I did so, I thought, I can't believe I have all of this useless knowledge in my head. And I have had since I was first introduced to the Star Wars franchise back in the 80s, via beta cassette. That's right. Kids down the block still used a beta cassette player. If you're listening going, what the hell is that? Then you weren't a kid in the 80s, okay? Or your neighbor just didn't have a beta cassette deck. What beta is actually superior to VHS tape. It's smaller in size than VHS tape, but not like a mini tape either. It's just a little bit smaller than VHS, but it is the superior version of the two. In fact, when consumer stores abandoned the beta tape and went full on with VHS tape for us to be renting movies and buying movies on VHS, it was never, buy it on VHS or beta. It was always VHS, right? Well, they abandoned that. Broadcast television networks and TV stations did not. They continued with the beta tape because that was the superior quality. So I don't know if VHS was probably easier and cheaper to mass produce, but the kid down the block had a beta cassette player. So I actually don't ever remember seeing the beta players for sale in stores anywhere. So that must have been like a small window when they were still kind of fighting out the consumer demand, and VHS obviously won. But he had Star Wars on beta. Okay. and we would all huddle around the TV and watch Star Wars. And I had a crush on this kid. So I thought I got to learn everything there is to know about A New Hope for this boy to like me. So I did. C-3PO, R2-D2, everything. Luke Skywalker, I knew it all. And this was back in the day, I was like 10. So I'm explaining to my mother, okay, Mom, there was 3 Star Wars that first came out in the 70s and 80s. Those aren't the first 3. Because then in the 90s, 3 more came out, and they took place before the original 3. I think I lost her then. So then I'm explaining when Solo and Rogue One come into play, and then there's the brand new ones, and they're all the way at the end. Mom, we should really binge watch and just watch it all in sequential order, and it will make so much sense to you, because as a Star Wars fan, we didn't have that same luxury. We're forced to watch them out of order by nature, by how they came out. But if you've never seen Star Wars before, would you watch it in order? That's a good question, because that's what I got my mom to do. We started with Phantom Menace, and I'm like, let's watch it from the frickin' beginning. Which, by the way, she was shocked when she found out that cute little boy was, in fact, spoiler alert, Darth Vader. I actually don't think she's still wrapped her head around that. But if you'd never seen Star Wars, would you go back and watch it in its order that exists today? Or would you watch it like how it came out? Because once you finish that third one, you're going back to the 70s. The quality is going to be vastly different. I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, I still like the old ones. Don't get me wrong. And again, I said, I can't believe I have all this in my brain. I wish I could have remembered biology or chemistry or any math class the way that I remember the Star Wars franchise. I'd be a genius. I mean, why is it that we can remember the dumbest stuff that serves really no purpose but entertainment value, but something that could, like, cure cancer, I can't remember X or Y or squared. Nope. Never could. And guess what? I've never had to use it since. From what I've been able to read online, the Empire has fallen. People are speculating that Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi. So, all that to say, just go watch it. Okay. I gotta talk about a lie that I told you. Last week on my tease for this week, I said that I was going to compare some cards and captions. I'm going to call that segment Cards and Captions. When I pull out some old cards that, people have sent to me over the years and read them, and then I'll read some captions from Instagram where people write things in the public that really should have been put on a personal card and sent to someone specifically. It's the new trend, and I don't like it. But I couldn't gather enough cards to do the segment properly today, so I'm gonna hold off, but I promise it will happen. I love sending out cards, by the way. I'm like one of those, what's your address? And I still mail cards, and I buy, stamps at the post office. I know I'm one of the last of time, really. But there's something to it, because especially now, if you take the effort to mail a card, oh my God, that means a lot. And I just think all I'm going to say about this segment right now, cards versus captions, stop writing a message to one person in a caption on your Instagram. I think it's tacky. It's like, yeah, we know you love your daughter. We know that. Put it in a card. And the picture you're posting above, the caption just could be a heart. And then you actually text your thoughts and feelings. I just feel like we don't need to read all that. Like, that's something that should be private. It drives me nuts. It bothers me. As Sebastian Maniscalco would say, it bothers me. It really does. So anyway, I lied. I said that I was going to do a full segment on that this week, and I just didn't quite get it together. I was kind of freaking out about it. And then I thought, you know what? What the hell? This is my podcast. I don't have any boss telling me that I had to do this. So I'm just going to put the pause button on it and hold off. I promise I will get that out. But I've replaced that segment with something that I think you might enjoy. From my first podcast that I released, I said I had a bad dating story in there. And I got more response from people before they even listened to it. Like, oh my God, I'm bookmarking this. I can't wait to listen to your podcast. I got to hear this dating story than anything else that I talked about in that podcast. I guess people like to hear about bad dating stories. So I thought I will temporarily replace the Cards vs. Captions segment with a fun little breakdown of guys on my dating app that I just can't believe that they exist. Okay. And we're going to spend a little time going over what I find on this dating app. Okay. This is a culmination of being on a dating app since this past April. Okay. So I've been storing this useless knowledge. And now I finally have an outlet on, to be able to share it with you. Dating's hard nowadays. I mean, it was hard enough when you actually had to go out and physically meet someone, and that was the only way that you met people, like before the internet. See, this way, when you go out and meet someone at a bar or an event, whatever it might be, neither of us know anything about the other. Okay? The first date was based solely on the fact that I think you're cute and you think I'm funny. And we go out. And then the rest, unfolds. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. Technology has allowed us to get a glimpse into someone's life before we even meet. I call it the downfall of Western civilization. And here I am partaking in it. But truly, think about it. You can judge someone by whatever they put on their profile and immediately go, I'm not going out with that person. But if you didn't see any of that stuff before and you just met in a bar and you thought they were cute, I don't know that they have a German Shepherd dog that sheds all over the furniture when I first meet him at a bar. But I do know if I see it on a dating profile and I go, I'm not living with that I'm going to be stuck vacuuming every day. See the difference? It's crazy. So I'm ruling you out before I even get past your height. That's the reality that we're faced here. Because like I said, then I see your pet and I think, I'm not doing it. It's not worth it. Yeah, you're cute, but you have cats, And I actually love cats. I would never have an indoor cat. I think I might be kind of allergic, but my dad's outdoor cats are cool. One guy has a cat, okay? The cat's name is Squirrel. He named his cat Squirrel. I have 2 dogs, so let me just explain why this match will simply not work. First, cat. I'm not having an indoor cat, okay? So, second, if you ever call the cat by its name, you are going to send my dogs into a frantic mode. And it's going to take 15 minutes for them to calm down because they are looking for a squirrel and a cat. So, double whammy there. It just wouldn't work. See, I'm figuring out so much from these dating apps that you simply wouldn't tell me on a first date. Oh, and this guy that owned a cat, he was really cute. But I deleted him because of what I should have learned on our first or second date. I shouldn't, quite frankly, even know that you have cats, let alone know that his name is Squirrel. Now, are the dating apps just helping us match up better? Or are we losing out on a lot of physical touch or, just being together to communicate in person? Are we losing out on that more? Or are we just able to filter out who we would rather not spend our time with? I don't know how I feel about it. Then there was a guy, and his favorite Disney movie, he listed it as the movie Up. Really? Out of all the Disney films, you're going with Up? I have the Disney Plus now, as you know. Up is not the first thing I would go to. I had to pick something. I don't even think we can be friends, let alone go out on a date. Your first choice is up? Really? One guy says, I'm very friendly and caring. Quote, I'm a good guy. Let me break this down. In life, we like to assume that everyone has those qualities. I'd like to assume anybody on the dating app is friendly and caring. If you feel like you need to list those two qualities, I'm a little suspect of you right off the bat. Friendly and caring, shouldn't that be what you are as a human? I mean, what the hell? If that's all that you can think of to write in your bio, I'm concerned. I should say, on this dating app, it has pre-generated questions, and you can pick which ones you want to put on your profile and which ones you want to answer. So it says a lot to me which questions you choose, first of all, and then your answers are, obviously say something else about you. This person chose the question, name an irrational fear. And his answer was, and I am quoting his answer, quote, I don't recall having any fears. Excuse me? Liar. If I put a tarantula on your face and you don't scream, you might be a psycho. I mean, I'm going to play it safe with this guy and pass. Okay, if you're not afraid of anything, something wrong with you. I mean, you're not afraid of drowning? I mean, there has to be one fear. Like, are you okay with, like, being burned alive? Is that doesn't scare? Come on. Gotta be one thing. Another account said, quote, I won't shut up about, which was, you could pick that question, but they put, I won't shut up about. His answer is Disney and Universal. The parks. Not the movies. The parks. This was a grown man with a big bushy beard. I'll never forget his face as I was perusing his profile. He likes to go to Disneyland or Disney World and Universal, Epcot, whatever. I don't really know the breakdown. But again, I like a lot of Disney movies. I've never been to Disneyland because I am a grown adult. Now, had I said I'd been there as a kid, of course, that's normal and fine. And I'm going to also say I have a couple girlfriends who go to Disneyland with their husband, and this is an annual thing they do, and they love it. Would I like to go see the Harry Potter thing? Yes, I will. Okay, I will say that. I would go to the Harry Potter thing. But am I going to see Mickey Mouse? No. No, I'm not. Also, there's so many kids there. That would not be my... Oh, no way. This is why I haven't gone to, like, Scene 75 or, like, Dave and Buster's. Too many kids running around. I can't do it. But see, I'm glad that we could get this out before we wasted any time going out together. Because he's going to want a girl that would like to go vacation at Disneyland. I'm not that girl. I am not hugging Snow White on my vacation. My friends that go say it is so much fun and that there's a lot of stuff to do there as an adult. I just can't get past it. Is it really that magical? If I go, will I get sucked in to the culture of being an adult and going to Disneyland? Anyway, moving on to a guy that chose this question in his profile, and it was, what are you looking for? He said he's looking for fun and excitement. Well, then go to Kings Island or Disneyland if you want excitement. I mean, what do you want from me? Do I have to entertain you? I can walk on my hands, but I'm not learning how to juggle. An answer like fun and excitement, it just makes me go, really? That's all you could think of to put what you're looking for? And remember, they get to pick the questions on their profile. She didn't have to pick that. Like, pick a question that you have a good answer for. Yeah, you can go do fun and exciting things together, but is that really what you want out of a relationship? Like, okay. Here's another question you can put onto your account, and it's, I'll introduce you to my family if And this guy wrote, if you enjoy camping, that's your only criteria before you introduce a girl to your parents? If they enjoy camping? I'm concerned. But also, I'm in the clear because I'm not going camping. I'm an adult, and so that was an easy one. But seriously, like, it would take a lot for me to introduce you to my parents. So if you like camping, that's not going to be your ticket into meeting my parents. Like, no way. All right, no way. Okay, another thing someone put on their account was, I'm overly competitive at, they put Uno, the game Uno, the card game, Mario Kart, and naps. Naps. So how does this nap thing work? I mean, are we like setting a stopwatch? Are we like comparing our Fitbit analytics to see who's had more REM sleep? What? I don't get it. Pass. And at this rate, I don't think I'm going to find anyone. These apps reveal too much. For me, it makes me pickier. I go, his earlobes are a little bit too big. It tells you too much. And on the other side of the wooden nickel, maybe it is a good way to weed people out and not waste your time. But all in all, I mean, since April, I've only gone out with 3 people that I've met on a dating app. 3. And I think only one that am I actually even still talking to. I feel like I actually had better luck before the invention of the dating apps. Not better luck as in, oh, I found my soulmate, but definitely spent more time with people, went out with more people. They might not have worked out, but I think there's something to be said for getting like turned down to your face and not on a dating app where you didn't even know you were turned down, or like a text message where they break up with you. Like, no, I'm from like, before all that, when they had to actually break up with you to your face, and I would cry, and then they left and you went on your merry way. All that's like taken out of the equation now with the dating apps. A lot of it is, I think. So here's something that I wouldn't put in my dating profile. I had some dental work done. By the way, I love my dentist. He is awesome. Well, like 10 years ago, I was actually attacked and punched in the face. That's a whole nother story. But I was literally attacked from behind, blindsided, punched in the face, and had to be rushed to the hospital. So I sustained some trauma to a few of my teeth, right? Well, the dentist said that, there'd be a 50-50 chance, nerves were severed, what have you. It's been really interesting over the last 10 years. Some teeth were perfectly fine. Other ones, like, weren't affected until, like, 5 years after the incident. 10 years later, one of the teeth that, had the trauma, needed a root canal. So, and these are my front teeth, by the way. My front teeth. I already have dreams, nightmares of my teeth crumbling in my mouth. You ever have that dream? I hope not. It's horrible. It's so traumatic. So for what I'm about to tell you to actually happen to me is frightening. And I've had people say, did you take a picture? No, hell no, I didn't take a picture. I don't ever want to remember the state of affairs I was in the other day at the dentist's office. So long story short, I had a root canal on this tooth. That makes the tooth very much weaker because now it's totally not alive. And they had to do a lot of drilling. With the drilling, it makes the tooth on the inside even thinner. So that makes it even more fragile. After the root canal, they have to go in and fill it. While they were doing that, the entire tooth broke off. I was toothless. It was my eye tooth. Sitting in the chair, you know, your tongue wanders up to the area they're working on, and you realize there's not a tooth there anymore, and fear sets in. Frantic. Tears start squirting out my eyes. And I look up at the dentist, and he's like, "It's okay, you're going to be fine." What just happened? No! Oh my God. Needless to say, they totally fixed me up. You get a post and a crown. Who knew? I didn't know. I don't have one. So I'm like, oh, okay. Totally fixed me up. I was fine. My dentist is amazing. But that little 10-minute window of your tooth breaking off, feeling the empty hole there, smiling in the mirror, and feeling so helpless. I just had to share that with you because that was my day this week. And they still saved me and got me out of looking like a toothless wonder. And it reminded me of a friend of mine that had a missing front tooth for years. And I got so used to it, like I forgot that they were missing a front tooth. He got it fixed, by the way. Now it looks great. But I mean, for at least a year, he had a missing front tooth. I just don't know if I could do it. I would like ball up some like gum or something and put it in there. Or I just wouldn't smile. I feel like I just wouldn't smile. You ever see Dennis the Menace? Hilarious, by the way. You know, they auditioned like something like 10 or 20,000 little boys to play Dennis before they found the perfect one. And he is really good. Anyway, he messes up Mr. Wilson's dentures, so he pops in some chiclets into the dentures. And I felt like that was me at the dentist. Like, I'll put a chiclet in there before I'm seen in public without a front tooth. I don't care how ridiculous I look. I could look more ridiculous, but at least I'd get some laughs, you know? Teeth, man. It's crazy how much we care about our smile. Thank God dentistry has come a long way because they fashioned me a tooth that looks like nothing ever happened. So if you're having a bad day, just know that someone else out there got a tooth knocked down and might be sitting in a dentist chair, bawling their eyes out. Just think about that. Next time you're having a bad day, think about that. At least you have all your teeth. Hey, thanks for listening. Next week, Tuesday, I will post my next podcast. That'll be 4. I can't believe it. 4. And I'm not even teasing next week because I feel like I fell short this week with the Cards vs. Captions segment. So I'm sure I'll have another crazy dating story. There'll be something worth listening to next Tuesday. Right, Grandma?
Okay, I'm your grandmother, and I'm going to give you some advice. Don't take any wooden nickels. It means don't get involved with jackasses.